So we basically ran two types of ads, okay? Follower ads, then the VSL ads, all right? Now, most people, okay, when they're running follower ads, they just make the mistake of boosting it from the app, okay? And for those of you who don't know what follower ads are, it's basically ads on Instagram designed to increase the amount of followers you've got. All right, simply put. Now, most people when running follower ads, they just boost it from the app to just see what the most viewed post is, and then they just boost it. Now, what that leaves you is with limited data, right? Because when you boost it from the app, you can't really see a lot of analytics, right? It's always limited. So what's the solution for this? It's Facebook Ads Manager, right? So you need to run follower ads from your Facebook Ads Manager. Now, this gives you more control over everything, right? You can see every single detail, every single analytic from the Facebook Ads Manager. Right now, I've soon got a tutorial coming up about running ads, follower ads from the Facebook Ads Manager. I'm probably going to release that video in a month or two. But yeah, let me know if you want me to release it earlier. Now, the second mistake is people don't track anything when it comes to follower ads. Like if you've ran follower ads and you've still not tracked them, then this is the biggest mistake you can do, because if you don't track, you're not going to make the right decision, right? And because of this, people usually just blindly shut down campaigns. They might run the campaign for like 3-4 days and then shut it down because it's not bringing results, right? So this happens when you don't track anything. Okay, and to fix this, what we did for this client is set up a advanced tracking system. We knew exactly how much we were going to make based on our numbers. Okay, so we weren't guessing, we weren't predicting, we just fucking knew how much we're gonna make the next month. I'm gonna talk more about it in just a minute, all right, when we discuss about the tracking stuff. A third mistake is boosting random posts that got the most views. Like, oh my god, like the amount of people I've seen do this is insane. I don't know why people get the idea that boosting the most viewed post is also going to get them the most amount of followers. No, that's not the case. It got you the most amount of views, but it necessarily might have not gotten you the most amount of followers, right? So there's no point in boosting the most viewed post. Plus, it's not optimized. Okay, it's not optimized for getting followers, right? And this is why most people, when they do this, they get unqualified leads. So to fix this, we created these follower ads using our ad scripting frameworks. Okay, in the ad scripting frameworks, we have a lot of angles, but the two most common ones we use is the value-based angle and the results-based angle. Now, in the value-based angle, it's more like we are providing value to the person. In exchange for that, they're going to follow us, right? Now, the results-based angle is where we are basically just, talking about a case study and just basically telling people, like, if they want to achieve the same results, then they should follow us, right? Now, that's the key with these ads. You need to give people a reason to follow you, right? If you just tell them to follow you, no one's going to do that. But if you give them a reason to do it, they are going to do that. So that's what the ad scripting framework solves for us. It helps us get qualified leads. Now, another mistake I see people make is they don't know their KPIs, okay? And for those of you who don't know what's the meaning of KPIs, key performance indicators, but yeah, like you should know every single KPI in your industry, especially when you're running ads, right? So what should be your cost per follower according to your industry? What should be the cost per call? What should be your cost per close? Like if you don't know these numbers, you're basically not going to understand what cost is higher and what cost is lower, right? How would you even know, okay, if my cost per follower is, let's say, $5, it's high, right? How will you know that if you don't know the industry averages, if you don't know your KPIs? You can't, right? Which is important, because if you are thinking, oh, my cost per follower is $10, right? And you're not making sales, right? You'll probably end up optimizing the wrong thing, right? Whereas the first thing you should be optimizing is your cost per follower, because it's extremely high. So yeah, you need to know your KPIs. Now, as a result of follower ads, this is what we got, yeah? So we were getting 10 to 30 followers per day, and out of which around 30 to 40% of them were qualified. So you can see like us getting followers. And if you want to know like which were from the ads, like it's easy. It says started following you from your ad. The follower ads were giving us a crazy ROAS. So we were getting a 10x ROAS easily. We were getting sales every now and then, as you can see from these screenshots as well, right? And I'm talking paid in full sales, not just payment plan or random weirdos coming in and just not being able to afford something, but painful sales. So this is the first type of ads we run, right? The follower ads. Okay. Now the second type of ads we ran were the VSL ads. Okay. Now guys, look, with VSL ads, it's again the same principles. Most of it is same, right? You need to make sure that you have a good ad scripting framework, because again, if you just script the ads randomly, it's just not going to work, right? You need to have a framework in place. You need to make sure you are writing the right hooks, right? You are hitting the right pain points in your ad creatives. And you can't do that if you don't know about your customers and if you don't have an ad scripting framework, right? So make sure you are scripting ads with a specific ads framework, okay? So with the VSL ads, we were getting really, really cheap cost per lead. I'm talking about qualified cost per lead, not just cost per lead. So we were getting a $7 cost per lead qualified, right? The way we made VSL ads work was by doing multiple creative testing. Multiple creative testing is something that was an option till Meta dropped their Andromeda update, right? So with Andromeda update, it's all about creative testing. Earlier, you used to change a bit of interest stacking and the targeting settings. You can play around with that to get different results. But now Meta is going to reach new people for your ads based on your creatives. Okay, so you can literally have the most shittiest targeting options, but if your creative is on point, it's speaking to the people you want to target, then you're going to reach those people. Okay, this is why it has become more and more important to use the right frameworks to script ads. So yeah, this is what we did for our client. So we scripted 4 different ads with 4 different frameworks, right? And all of them had different styles as well. Like, so the first one was highly edited with all the, animations and stuff. Then the second one was the raw video, right? No editing at all. And the third one was iPad Miro style video. So just like kind of this one, right? And then the fourth one again was raw, but with a bit of captions, right? So we had different packaging for different videos. So you want to make sure that all your creatives look different. If they look the same, it's not going to work with the Andromeda update, okay? You need to make sure that you have different scripts, right? You are testing different hooks, different angles. So for example, in, ad 1, you could start off with a pain hook, right? So for example, for trading, it might be, if you are struggling to become profitable, then X, Y, and Z, right? Or you could start with a results-based angle, right? So for example, I helped a trader go from inconsistent 2K months to making over 20K in a single month. And here's how I did it, right? This is a results-based angle, right? So you can experiment with different types of angles. And instead of calling out your ICP by saying who they are, like for example, if you're targeting unprofitable traders, yeah? So instead of saying, if you are an unprofitable trader, although, I like this approach because this is the most clear approach to call out the person, you can actually call them out by using their pains. So think about the pains unprofitable traders have, right? And then call them out by saying that, right? Try this. It's going to work wonders for you. I promise. Okay? So we were doing multiple creative testing every single month, right? And this helped us get qualified calls almost every single day. Like, as you can see from these screenshots, this helped us get calls every single day, right? And I'm going to give you some pure sauce here, okay? I'm going to give you a really, really good hack here to get only qualified calls and leads on your calendar. So, you know how you always set up a pixel on your landing page, on your booking page, whatever, right? Now, here's what we did differently, okay? So we set up 2 different pixels, okay? 2 different pixels, and this is how it worked, okay? So for qualified leads, what happened is normal leads, they landed on the opt-in page. They answered the questions we were asking in the opt-in form, okay? So it was name, phone number, country, and 1 qualifying question that would help us determine if the lead is qualified or not, right? Now, if the lead was qualified, then they would move on to the VSL page. And that's where the qualified leads event would fire up. Okay, so we were training our pixel to only get qualified leads. We were only training our pixels on the qualified leads, not the unqualified ones. So if the lead is unqualified here, right, they would just go to a different page with another pixel that is for unqualified lead. Okay, so this is how you can actually make sure that your pixel is only being trained on the qualified leads. Now, similarly, to get qualified calls, so whenever someone landed on the booking page, they answered the questions, and if they were qualified, then they would go into the thank you page where the qualified calls pixel would trigger, right? And again, if they were unqualified, they would go to a different page where another pixel for unqualified leads would trigger. So this is how we exactly knew, okay, so this amount of people are qualified, this amount of people are unqualified, and our pixel was only being trained on the qualified people, both for leads and for calls. Mate, if you do this, your pixel is going to be so well trained, like slowly you'll only start to get only qualified leads and calls. This is a game changer, guys, right? So yeah, this is what we did when it comes to ads, right? So after we were doing this, we were getting a lot of calls booked, a lot of followers, everything was good. And as we started running ads and content, leads started flowing in like crazy, and a client was busy with the other work, and no, he was kind of experienced, with appointment setting or sales. So here's what we did next. In step 5, we built out his entire